Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Backyard Naturalist. I'm your host, Jenny Ushry, an educator and neophyte naturalist living on the foothills of South Mountain in suburban Phoenix, Arizona. Every week I take a look to see what's happening in my own backyard and give tips and tricks to help other backyard naturalists in the Sonoran Desert identify and learn more about the local environment. This week's episode of Backyard Naturalist is a bird episode! Our bird of the week is the verdin, which is Auriparus flavaceps in Latin. I had verdin in my backyard all 3 days that I did observations this week. My neighbor has a small tree that hangs over into my yard that is apparently perfect for verdin because I see them in that particular tree pretty frequently. The verdin is a small bird, 3 to 5 inches when fully grown, with coloring that ranges from a drab, gray, brown, white variation on juveniles to the more typical coloration that you can see on the adult here. Gray or brown back, white underparts with this gorgeous yellow coloration on the head and kind of a reddish chestnut patch right at the bend of the wings. As with most birds, this coloration will vary a bit between individuals of the same species. Verdins are a non-migratory bird, so you can see them year-round in their range, which extends throughout the desert southwest, Baja California, and into central Mexico. The verdin's IUCN status is least concern, but according to the North American Breeding Bird Survey, verdin populations are in steep decline. Between 1968 and 2015, there was a yearly decline of 1.9%. That's 1.9% each year for 47 years. The major threat is loss of habitat. The verdin was common in Southern California before development started happening in certain areas, but there are large areas of the state where the verdin is no longer found. Verdin are a great bird to watch in your backyard because they're pretty entertaining. They're a twitchy little bird that is found mostly in scrub and low trees. They're active no matter what the weather. They can be found jumping around from branch to branch on cold mornings and hot summer afternoons. If you take a look at this video, you can see some pretty typical verdin behavior. They have a way of moving around in scrub or foliage that the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum characterizes as hyperactive, but I think is just, kind of charming. You'll mostly see verdin alone, but they do pair up for nesting, often building multiple nests in a year. The nests are a pretty common sight in the desert southwest, perhaps because the male of a nesting pair might build multiple nests, sometimes called display nests, before the female chooses one in which to lay eggs. The nests are bulky, made of sticks, and they can last for years in our arid climate, so you'll often see the nests before you ever see the bird. One interesting fact about verdin nests is that although they're built in a variety of types of foliage, many of them have their openings situated toward the prevailing wind. This is thought to be a behavioral adaptation to the hot desert climate. The wind blows into the nest to cool it down. If you want to encourage verdin in your backyard, there are a few ways to attract them. Verdin mostly eat insects, that's aphids, caterpillars, beetles, wasps, spiders, which are not an insect but are still verdin food. But they are also widely known as nectar feeders. They will take nectar from the same sorts of plants that a hummingbird would, including backyard nectar feeders. So to attract verdin, you could encourage an insect-rich ecosystem in your backyard, or you could plant nectar flowers such as the tuberosa, or you could install a nectar feeder and keep an eye out for both hummingbirds and verdin. I hope that you'll keep an eye out for this distinctive little bird as you explore the wide world of the Sonoran Desert. Once you have spotted one, you will start seeing them everywhere. For more information on the verdin, you can visit any of these sites, which are also linked below. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Backyard Naturalist.